Okay, here's the situation. My parents went away on a week's vacation. Sorry, there's no time. Here's the situation. We are leaving for vacation tomorrow, and I didn't feel like I had time to make a video and edit it with everything we've got going on in terms of packing and planning to leave tomorrow early in the morning. So I remembered that I have a subscription to a platform called Descript. I saw that they just announced that they have this AI editor included in your subscription. So you can load in your video files and then say, hey robot, have at it, edit this video, and it'll do it without any, human intervention, which probably a bad thing. But I thought, as long as I'm already paying for that subscription, and I'm gonna go for a walk because even though we've got lots to do today, everyone is still sleeping and I'm up and I'm gonna go for a walk. Why don't I film myself just one long video, no cuts, no edits, and load it to the Descript AI editor and just see what happens, because I'm paying for it, I'm not using it. I feel like a fool. So this way I can test that out and get a video in. So let's see how Descript does automatically editing this vlog. The other thing I wanted to do this morning is I bought a new pair of shoes yesterday, a pair of running shoes, walking shoes, let's be honest. And I want to break them in because we're going to be doing a lot of walking over the next week. And I have heard that you don't want to put on a brand new pair of shoes and walk around for hours and hours on end because it's going to hurt. So I'm breaking them in a tiny bit here. We have a store in town that is dedicated to running and running shoes, running paraphernalia. And so I went over there because I was really interested in the On Cloud brand of running shoes. I've seen a lot of people wearing and I've heard really good things about how comfortable they are. So I went to that place after I got a haircut, which, by the way, they did a fade, which I'm not used to doing, and a little nervous about that. Not really my style. Usually have a little bit of sideburn here, but besides the point. I went into the running store, and as soon as you walk in, there's like a person at the front desk, and they're like, hey, what brings you in today? And they're gonna pair you with a worker to take you around, show you all the different shoes. And I'm like, I don't want to spend all day here. I just want to look at some shoes, try some on, and see what works for me. So the guy was he was super, super nice. He was showing me a bunch of shoes, and I was like, I really am interested in the On Cloud brand. And he was like, they have got a really good marketing team, but it's not the best running shoe. And I said, brother, I do not need the best running shoe. I'm 95% of my life standing in an office, so I just want something, I want to feel like I'm walking on pillows, So he had me trying a whole bunch of different brands and stuff, and then I saw that there was a pair of Ons on sale in my size. I said, hey, let me just try those on. He's like, all right. Let me be clear, he was very nice about the whole thing, but he was, trying to guide me away from what he probably assumed was just trying to be like everyone else or something like that. I tried them on and I was like, I really like these. So I got the On running shoe. I really like them. It feels like I am walking on a cloud, but also I have been walking for about a mile right now and my arches are hurting a little bit. So apparently that guy might know a little bit of what he's talking about. Of course he knows what he's talking about. He's a very cool guy, very nice guy, experienced runner. But I made the best choice for myself. I just like them. It's a nice local community store, been around for decades, want to support them. But if they didn't pair me with an attendant to kind of like talk through things and stuff like that, I probably would have just walked out of there and bought them online. I guess that's the whole point, right? That's how you stay in business. So one of the things that I'm thinking about as I'm getting ready for this trip tomorrow is I'm wondering if I should bring this camera, the Osmo Pocket 3. And I know that I have talked about, and I truly believe this, that I want to carry my phone around with me everywhere just to capture moments of life and everything like that. But I've got a very full suitcase and a very full backpack. And I'm worried that it's going to get smushed, like as I, shove my backpack underneath the seat on the airplane. Do I want to mess around with having this camera of like, pulling it out, shooting stuff, and then putting it back in? I feel like I want to try just doing everything on my phone. I downloaded the Blackmagic camera app, which allows you to like set your shutter speed, set your ISO, set your white balance manually. And the footage looks pretty good. I've just got a regular iPhone 15, but the test footage I've done so far has looked pretty good. So I might just do that. It's one less thing to worry about. And I've got a whole bunch of medical supplies and stuff like that we've got to bring with us and worry about. So I don't know if I want to bring this camera, even though it's not a huge thing, but there's just a part of me that's like, why? Why deal with the extra equipment when an iPhone might suffice? So that's something that I'm thinking about right now as I'm like finalizing my packing and getting ready to go. I've been watching a lot of vlogs on YouTube. I paid for premium because the ads were driving me nuts. So I've been just, putting stuff on as I'm working, and I've been seeing a lot of vlogs that, I think are really good. And I'm getting so many different kinds of ideas from all these different people. Some of them are super cinematic, and some of them are just straightforward like this, talking into a camera for, 10, 15 minutes, super unpolished and everything like that. And both are great. So a lot of those people who are vlogging are just using their iPhones. I feel like it might be more convenient for me to use my iPhone that I've already got with me during this trip. And maybe it will spur me on to do more in the moment because I'm not pulling a camera out of a backpack and then taking the case off and then making sure that the ND filter is on and set to the right thing, which I don't even know that I'm doing it right. So I might just do that and test what it looks like vlogging for a week on just an iPhone, and can I make that as good as I want it to be. Maybe I will bring this because you can just set it and the camera's gonna follow you around. What about back here? Can you see me back here? Camera gonna follow me in the woods like a huntsman. I don't know what that means. So I'm very interested to see what this AI editing platform does, because I think one of the things that I like is, intentional silences and spaces to kind of, let your words breathe. I don't know that the AI editor is going to do that. So I'll be very interested to see what happens. And my intent is to just take this file, throw it into Descript, see what it does, and not make any tweaks, and just load it and to show everyone who's maybe interested in using Descript what it can do. I feel like it might not be perfect, it might not be great. I think it might even ruin this video right here, which, low bar, right? Let's start heading back. I think my family is about to wake up, and we have got to go to the store and grab a few things for the plane and make sure that we have all of our last minute packing done so that we're ready to go. All right, there's the person coming. I'm not gonna be embarrassed because screw that. I'll never see that person again. Oh, that is actually a neighbor. I'm gonna turn my head this way. I did turn on the face tracking feature. I've had this Osmo Pocket for a year and a half now, and I've never used it before because I'm usually just setting the camera up on a tripod and filming in that way. But I figured, like, well, if I'm gonna be walking and talking, maybe this is a good way to make sure I stay in frame. Ooh, ooh. It'd be funny, out of this 20-minute clip so far, Descript cuts it down to like 90 seconds. Here's the parts that were good. Slam. Not feeling conditioned enough to be doing so much walking. We're going to the Disney area and we'll spend a couple of days in the Disney theme parks, which is, you know, those are like 20,000 step days. And I'm out of breath, you know, just trotting across that that median right there. So we might be in trouble. As the kids say, I'm cooked. I had previously started a clip, and then a couple minutes into that one, I got a notification saying, hey, you can check in for your flights. And so I was like, oh crap. So I stopped the video, and then I started checking in from my phone out here in the wilderness. Not wilderness, but suburbs. But you know, I was thinking, I paid for our seat selection, right? Why do I need to check in anymore, right? Because it used to be like you check in, you can, you know, reserve your seats or do something like that. I don't even actually remember that far back, but is there a point to checking in right away as soon as you get the notification anymore? I don't know what purpose it serves anymore. So, I don't know, just maybe a relic of times past. Speaking of the olden days, my son was going through last night to set all of his rooming preferences for college in the fall. They ask you a whole bunch of questions about like they're basically personality tests. How loud do you like the noise level in your dorm room? How much time do you plan on spending in the dorm room? How often do you plan to clean your dorm room? Stuff like that. And so you have to go through, and I assume that they're asking all these things because they're going to match you with someone who is similarly minded. And I was trying to think, like, back in the 90s, before everyone was doing everything online, how did we do that? I don't remember filling out any sort of like personality types of questionnaires. But then again, I roomed with my best friend, so maybe they did have that and they just did it by paper and you mailed it in. How did we do all of this stuff? How did we schedule our classes when, you know, that wasn't available on the website? It's like, did we do them by paper? I don't have any recollection of that. I feel like I have a pretty good memory for things, but I guess it's only for specific episodes of Saved by the Bell, not for things that have happened to me in my life. Just Zach Morris's. Well, hit my exercise goal. They have a very low bar for me, this Apple Watch. Like, you struggle going up 2 flights of stairs, so we're gonna call this good on 28 minutes of walking. Okay, there is a path here somewhere to get to the woods. Ah, shoot, I went down the wrong street. I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit, really test these shoes. If I can just get to the woods, then I can close this video out and go about my day. How do you guys feel the day before a vacation? Are you relaxed? Everything prepped ahead of time? Feel good that you've covered everything you need to cover? Or are you like me and worried that you've forgotten something and you're not going to have everything that you need for your trip? Man, I'm out of shape. How do you guys feel about vacation? Can you not sleep at night because you're worried you're going to sleep in, miss your flight? Anxious, excited? Or are you like, nope, I'm going to bed and tomorrow will come, whether I'm ready or not? Just trying to catch my breath here. I'm going the wrong way again, I think. Crap, I am going the wrong way. Oh my gosh, I was going the right way. Fart. Okay, we're gonna run. I'm gonna find a spot to set this down and wrap it up because we are at 40 minutes, 41 minutes. Okay, are we? Ooh, that kind of looked like a Beastie Boys video. So what you want? Well, I'm excited to see what the Descript AI editor does with this single clip that I've just recorded for 41 minutes. And I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to try to do my best to vlog during our trip, but I also want to prioritize the trip because it's not very often that my entire family is on vacation together in one house. I want to enjoy that. So trying to find a good balance between vlogging and living. So thanks for watching. We will talk to you soon. Okay, so out of an abundance of transparency, I tried my best to just load the single file into the Descript editor and let the AI editor do its thing, and it was kind of a complete disaster. The edits that it made were choppy, didn't have any flow to them, cut out, the first parts of some of my syllables, and it inserted B-roll that looked like AI generated stock images, and they were left on screen for way too long. And even so, I was going to export that and load that in just as like a testament to, if anyone's out there looking at using the Descript platform to do editing, if they aren't experienced editors or anything like that. But I couldn't even export it because it had a problem with the 4K resolution that I loaded, and it kept failing and kept failing and kept failing every time that I started to export it. So I pulled it into Adobe Premiere, which I'm used to, and I made all of like similar edits that it was making, but I just made them a little bit tighter and more to my liking. So I have been a fan of the Descript company for a couple of years now. I think they do great things. I just don't think that the AI editor is, good enough just yet. It may get there, but I'm a fan of Descript as a platform, but this wasn't it. So that's it.